Welcome and thank you for joining us on Nationwide News on the network service of the NTA. I am Noleen Abel-Ameh with the news. Let's begin with safety matters where the federal government has inaugurated the National Road Safety Advisory Council with a charge on members to align with global best practices in reducing road crashes. Vice President Kashim Shettima at the inauguration emphasized the critical nature of road safety, stating road safety is not merely a matter of policy but a critical part of the lifeline that connects the people of this nation. In other news, the federal government has introduced a new direct purchase model for petrol, allowing petroleum product marketers to buy directly from local refineries. Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, who confirmed this in a statement on Friday, says the move marks a significant shift from the previous arrangement where the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited, NNPCL, was the sole purchaser and distributor of petrol. This direct purchasing mechanism allows marketers to negotiate commercial terms directly with the refineries, fostering a more competitive market environment and enabling a smoother supply chain for petroleum products. Edun said, with the commencement of local petrol production, the market is better equipped to support these direct transactions and is expected to enhance efficiency in product availability and stabilize market conditions. Governments at all levels must rise to the occasion of climate change, which stares communities across Nigeria in the face, and work in synergy to deal with the attendant environmental consequences that accompany it. The House Committee Chairman on Ecological Fund, Aminu Sani Jaji, raised the alarm in an interview with a journalist after the committee assessed the ecological situation in some parts of Gombe State. Emmanuel Akila reports.
From Gombe, the state capital, to the surrounding settlements and the local government areas, the landscapes speak volume of the impact of environmental degradation in the state. The House Committee on Ecological Fund is here on assessment of the situation. After the tour of some areas devastated by gully erosion, the committee comes to sit with the state government to look at ways to stop the menace of gully erosion in the state.
By the records, we have around 214 active gullies in Gombe.
In respect to Gombe State, there are so many local government that we have that are having the issues of flooding, about 4 or 3 local government that we have in our database. This local government, we want to make sure that will provide funds that will go in line with what we want to achieve in addressing issues like that.
For states like Gombe, with gully erosion threats in the neighborhood of residents, the state government's efforts, the House Committee on Ecological Fund says, must be supported urgently to save lives and property. In Gombe, Emmanuel Akila, NTA News.
Commitment to addressing learning crisis, out-of-school children, and proper integration of skill acquisition into school curriculum were focal points at the just concluded 68th National Council of Education in Abuja. Ayodeji Makinde has more on this.
Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Mamman, who outlined present administration's bold initiatives aimed at removing barriers to quality education across all levels from primary to tertiary, emphasized that these efforts align with the Council's theme, innovation, digital technology and entrepreneurship, tools for education and national development in the 21st century.
By the time our children finish primary school, basic education and secondary school, they would have acquired some trades, some occupations.
The government at all levels must sustain effort in tapping the creative and innovative abilities of young Nigerians by helping them transform their ideas into reality.
Ebonyi, Yobe, Cross River, Kano, Ondo, Borno and Enugu states were recognized for their remarkable strides in adopting smart education initiatives, a crucial step in alignment with the federal government's vision for a technologically advanced education system. Established in March 1993, the National Council on Education remains a vital platform for shaping education policy and promoting community engagement, ensuring that Nigeria's education system continues to evolve in response to modern challenges and opportunities. In Abuja, Ayodeji, Makinde, NTA News.
In other news, the member House of Representatives representing Fofore Song constituency in Adamawa State, Aliu Wakili Boya, has called on Nigerians to continue to support the initiatives of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu towards developing the country. He stated this during his empowerment program in his constituency. Rayanu Bala reports.
The member House of Representatives Fofore Song constituency in Adamawa State, Aliu Wakili Boya, who says the National Assembly will continue to give President Bola Ahmed Tinubu the desired support through sound legislation and oversight, called on people to keep their hope alive on the present administration. The lawmaker outlined some of his achievements in 1 year at the National Assembly, saying he will continue to provide quality representation that will add value on the lives of his constituents and Nigeria as a whole. Aliu Wakili Boya explained that the empowerment program he initiated will be a continuous one to cushion the effect of the economic hardship and to give the people of Fofore Song some sense of belonging.
About 1,800 farmers across the state, across the local government, receiving essential farming inputs in order to boost agricultural productivity. Water pumps and fertilizers were distributed across the local government areas. 100 youths were trained on cassava farming and startup talking were provided for them.
The donor has achieved that not by lobby, not by sacrifice, but purely by commitment to do it.
Items shared include foodstuff, vehicles, tricycles, motorcycles, sewing machines, among others, as part of his constituency projects. In Yola, Rayanu Bala, NTA News.
Now, concerned by the food insecurity and malnutrition in the society, especially from the northern part of the country, Sultan Foundation for Peace and Development, in partnership with Accelerating Nutrition Results in Nigeria, brought together female faith influencers and nutritionists for one-day dialogue. The forum is aimed at brainstorming with a view to come up with strategies to improve and promote better nutrition practices of the vulnerable groups in the communities. The crusade is to persistently change the behavior of people on issues surrounding practices in Nigeria.
Discuss deeply, come up to an agreement that will promote the issue of nutrition to local authorities, to state authorities, to the federal government.
Exclusive breastfeeding, I'll keep emphasizing that. As influencers in the community, we can actually help reduce malnutrition and improve these health outcomes that we desire to see for our women and children.
Children under 5, about 37% of them are malnourished. It's a very serious challenge that calls for urgent attention that will improve the nutritional status of these vulnerable groups.
The Maseki program that we are doing, when we developed the concept, it was piloted in my district in Jigawa State. And now with what is happening, I think it's something that we need to add on to what we are doing, to improve the nutrition status of our children and the community at large.
Presentations were made by health experts on nutrition in women and children, the myth, the facts, and the contemporary challenges. Amid Nigeria's growing challenges, Kano State has taken a significant step by organizing a high-level workshop on agricultural transformation. The workshop aims to strengthen the crop value chain through the Kano Agro-Pastoral Development Project with a focus on boosting agricultural productivity and enhancing food security. Yahanasu Hassan Barrow reports that other state governors are keen to adopt similar initiatives in their regions to tackle food security issues nationwide.
Kano State, known for its agricultural heritage with nearly 80% of its population engaged in farming, vast lands and water resources are among the reasons why both federal and state governments are making efforts to support farmers. With a special emphasis on empowering women, youth and even the physically challenged individuals, the project fostered inclusive growth in the region. This is by equipping farmers with modern techniques and tools. It has also not only boosted agricultural output but also enhanced food security and economic resilience. Researchers, farmers, development partners and government officials are sitting under one roof to discuss on what worked so far and how to bring in more states on board.
We have equipments like this help farmers to be able to do their job quite precisely.
They have already sent a team to Katsina State to inspect our preparedness, and they are satisfied with what they saw on ground. So Katsina State is very much ready. We are now waiting for federal government.
To further ensure mechanized agriculture among smallholder farmers, combined harvesters and tractors were launched by the state government. Part of the workshop was farm-to-farm visitation by the stakeholders. In Kano, Yahanasu Hassan Barrow, NTA News.
And still staying with Yahanasu Hassan Barrow in Kano on the agricultural development project. She is standing by to tell us more on that. Hi, Yahanasu. I can see you standing on a farmland there. Can you speak to us on how? Okay, I'm told that we have lost Yahanasu there. We may reconnect with her in the course of the bulletin. All right, I'm told she's back. Yahanasu, are you there?
Agriculture and nutrition-sensitive agriculture. All this is geared towards ensuring that farmers get access to inputs, training, and other things that will link them up with the off-takers, I mean, taking them to the market for them to sell their produce at a reasonable cost. So far, more than 450,000 farmers have been engaged across 44 local government areas of Kano State. To ensure this project gets to the people in the hinterlands, which is where most of these farmers reside, motorcycles were distributed to extension agents for them to take new technology to these farmers to have an improvement in their production and the output as well. Doing this, they said, will ensure change in their livelihood. And apart from that, there were a lot of technologies that was being provided by the Sasakawa. And one good thing about it is that all these technologies, the machineries are fabricated here in Nigeria. Like the onion technology, which is used to preserve onions, a loss has been reduced. Now the loss is not up to 20%. Out of 100% of the losses they incurred before. There are a lot of things to do with the crop value chain. To talk of the livestock value chain, there are a lot too, like the Dansoshia that was established just of recent, 3,000 hectares, a grazing reserve that was farmers. I mean the pastoralist collection centers will be provided.
We are sorry for the audio glitch, coming from Yahanasu on the farmland there. And let's move on with the news. Every girl child should be able to dream of a future where she can grow without limits. Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu stated this in a message to celebrate this year's International Day of the Girl Child. She notes that the theme of the celebration, Girls' Vision for the Future, is very apt and calls for more investment in education, starting from the home, where girls will be taught to believe in themselves and the values of self-worth and dignity, as well as equipping them with the confidence to face the future. The First Lady says, with the right support, resources and opportunities, the potential of the world's more than 1.1 billion girls will know no bounds. She says Nigeria has come a long way in ensuring the education of the girl child. The First Lady, however, laments that too many girls are still denied their rights, restricting their choices and limiting their future. She saluted the girl child in Nigeria, urging them to be strong, confident and determined in their resolve to push for the limitless opportunities that abound. Today, Nigeria joins countries across the globe to celebrate the International Day of the Girl Child. The theme for this year is Empowering Girls, Empowering the Future. What does this imply? Momso Damian Dati seeks to answer this in the next report.
There she sits, Khadija, on a very busy road in a suburb of Abuja, with a number of her friends all about the same age, idling away and begging for alms just to eat and stay alive. Year in, year out, from dawn to dusk.
As a girl, you will have a very different life depending on where you happen to be born.
If only she knew any better, if only the opportunity was available, and her parents and authorities concerned realized the crucial roles that lay ahead of her as a potential career woman, game changer, and mother who will eventually bear, raise, and train future presidents, governors, and leaders to sustain the future of Nigeria. The situation is quite different for these young girls who are privileged to be groomed and start preparing for their future roles at a young age.
I have no regrets. In my next world, so I would still love to become a girl. Make my family proud, make people around me proud.
My expectation as a girl child is to stop molestation of females, domestic violence, rape, and gender inequality.
Some parents don't have financial capacity to sponsor their children, so government should give free sponsorship.
And that captures the essence of the International Day of the Girl Child, so that the likes of Khadija and her peers can have a brighter and most impactful future, like Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, Amina Mohammed, Ladi Kwali of blessed memory, and others.
Every girl has the potential to change the world, build new cultural virtues that will promote you, the girl child.
When we equip girls with tools for success, we see nations grow stronger and futures grow brighter.
As Nigeria commemorates this day, it will be pertinent for key players to act with the theme in mind: empowering girls, empowering the future. Momso Damian Ati, NTA News.
Beyond advocating inclusion of girls in more developmental agenda, the global community is also calling for improved investment in the female gender so as to enable them become leaders, creating a promising future for the world. Experts say this will break the stereotypic chain and propel the girl child to live to her full potential. Adejoke Odeka has details.
Knowing fully well that the girl child does not only bring joy but guarantees the continued existence of humanity explains why global attention has always focused on issues concerning them. According to the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, more than 7 million girls are out of school in Nigeria, in which 3.9 million at the primary and 3.7 million are at the junior secondary level. Experts say these statistics, however, justify the need to strengthen collaboration and interventions towards breaking the chains of various challenges faced by women and girls across the world.
If you train a female child very well,
You make her a pillar in her home. She'll be economically empowered. She'll be able to train her children.
We're trying to make them know that you are made for more. You can dream more. You can get more out of life.
The theme for this year's International Day of the Girl Child focuses on vision for the future, which highlights the need for investment to enable them become leaders.
Patronize learning and personal growth. Parents must support the education. Parents must not see the girl child education as a second-class option.
The consensus is that giving girls equal opportunity to be educated will eliminate certain barriers like child labor and marriage, cultural and religious limitations, while boosting their overall leadership skills. In Lagos, Adejoke Odeka, NTA News.
And still talking on the girl child, the International Day of the Girl Child, marked every October 11, provides a global platform to reflect on the pressing issues facing girls today, recognize their rights and addressing the unique challenges they encounter. This year's theme, Girls' Vision for the Future, calls attention to the hopes, dreams and aspirations of young girls everywhere. Yenri John tells us more.
They stand tall, young, vibrant and full of life. But beneath their smiles, they carry fears and face obstacles many cannot see.
Imagine myself being a co-wife of somebody as old as my mom is actually a problem that we're facing in Nigeria today.
The welfare of mine and the security and safety of other girls in this country.
Some girls out there hawking, some want to go to school, but it's just that due to some conditions they don't.
To bring these challenges to the forefront and promote girls' empowerment, the United Nations General Assembly on December 19, 2011, officially declared October 11 as the International Day of the Girl Child. In Abuja, the Forever Girl Child Initiative brought young girls, educators, and community leaders together at the American spaces to inspire and ignite the vision of future female leaders.
We get to focus on creating an environment where those dreams can thrive and succeed, where girls have the tools, the resources, and the support they need to shape their own futures.
Some people might want to tell you you are dull, you're too short, you're too fat, you're too whatever. But I want you to tell yourself and anyone you come in contact with is that you're a graceful person.
The event was a melting pot of ideas where girls were encouraged to dream boldly and claim their space in society.
A girl is a nation. When you empower a girl, a nation or a community is empowered in totality.
As Nigeria joins the global celebration, one thing is certain. With the right support, resources, and opportunities, the potential of the world's 1.1 billion girls is limitless. These girls are not just dreaming. They are shaping the future, one step at a time. In Abuja, Yenri John, NTA News.
Thank you, Yenre. In other news, employees in the public and private sector have been urged to embrace the Performance Management System, PMS, in line with the ongoing reforms as rolled out by the Office of the Head of Service of the Federation. At an event to formally kickstart implementation in the Federal Ministry of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, the Permanent Secretary, Dr. Mariam Ismaila Shenro, describes a performance management system as a transformative approach that seeks to align individual performance with a broader mandate of the ministry. Dr. Keshenro also explains that the PMS is designed to foster a culture of continuous improvement, transparency and accountability in workplaces needed to drive success in the public service. She urges the PMS core team to show commitment, deploy skills and knowledge required to drive the sector. All right, now we shall be taking our first commercial break. Thank you for staying with us on Nationwide. At this point, our stations will be joining our live match between Nigeria and Libya for Nations qualifier. But meanwhile, this news continues on NTA International and NTA News 24. Let's continue with the news now. The Federal Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation is spending 2 billion naira on various water supply projects in Sokoto State. Minister of State, Water and Sanitation, Bello Muhammad Goronyo, discloses the figures at the groundbreaking ceremony for the federal government intervention on water supply projects in Sokoto. Dalhatu Abdullahi has the report.
The projects are under the federal government intervention on water supply of the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The first component of the project, estimated at 2 billion naira, comprises new solar-powered boreholes at strategic locations, rehabilitation of malfunctional water schemes across the state, reconstruction of collapsed bridge at Kagara and damaged culvert at Boyeke, as well as some access roads. The new boreholes are to be provided for communities of some educational institutions, public organizations, and selected villages. Sokoto State Water Board, that experienced numerous overhauling without meeting the water needs of Sokoto and environs, is among the water schemes to be rehabilitated.
We are going to crisscross this country so that Nigerians would benefit on the dividends of democracy.
Water is the number 6 in the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations. And so the Honorable Minister was carefully given this ministry because of his track record and the capacity to deliver.
The minister and entourage held similar symbolic flag-off at Gorenyo local government, where 11 solar-powered boreholes are to be drilled, one each for the 11 political wards of the area. The second component of the intervention projects of the renewed hope agenda is on dams refurbishment across the country, expected to commence in due course. In Sokoto, Dalhatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
Established as a major means of communication connecting various parts of the country, Postal Service, which is as old as time, has continued to defy the odds for more than 100 years, maintaining its tradition and core mandate in an era of digital technology. In this report, Joel Popola takes a look at how the nation's Postal Service is upscaling its operations to compete favorably in a complex and dynamic society.
There was a time when Nigerians had no smartphones or email, and people solely relied on Nigerian Postal Service to reach out to their loved ones and organizations both home and abroad. During this era of letters, Postal Service was popular, with digital technology now in the front burner. Expansion of capacity to be at par with present-day reality of faster delivery rate and haulage service is now a necessity.
What digitalization has done to the Postal Service is that it has made the postal services globally to evolve from just looking at letters. We have now evolved into e-commerce, logistics, and digitalized communication. So the only thing it has done is forced us to evolve. We have just launched our financial services, so we've also increased the financial services.
Working with a team of passionate stamp collectors known as philatelists, NIPOS has unveiled postage stamps to further drive socio-economic inclusion and contribute its quota to the protection of the ozone layer.
Now it's becoming business, because when you now collect stamp or stamp item or postal stationery, you can now, over time, you can now sell them or swap them.
E-business, e-logistics, and all these other aspects of digital technology are daily affecting us, both positively and otherwise.
With this series of ongoing reforms, maintaining relevance while keeping pace with the latest trend, it is believed will drive innovation in the postal service subsector of the country. In Lagos, Joel Bukbola, NTA News.
From Lagos, we take you to Benin now, where Anwuli Okolo is standing by to give us more reports from that axis. Good evening, Anwuli.
You're welcome to Benin. Edo State Governor-elect Senator Monday Abel-Ameh has presented certificate of return to the Oba of Benin. The Oba charged him to fulfill the promises he made to Edo people while campaigning.
The governor-elect and his deputy are in the palace of the Benin monarch in company of the party leaders and members to showcase their certificate of return ahead of their swearing-in on November 12, 2024. The traditional ruler, who thanked President Bola Tinubu and security agencies for the peaceful conduct of the Edo elections, expressed confidence that the governor-elect will deliver good governance when he steps in.
I pray for more peace and tranquility in the state. We cannot end this without thanking President Bola Tinubu, Commander-in-Chief, for everything, for also ensuring peaceful elections.
Senator Monday Abel-Ameh thanked the Oba for his prayers and support.
We are here to thank you as our father, and to also let you know that we have received certificate of return. I and my deputy, we are here together to present our certificate of return to you.
The governor-elect reiterated his readiness to hit the ground running in order to lay true to his promises that he shared during his campaigns.
In furtherance of his mandate to inform and enlighten the Nigerian populace on government policies and strategies for implementation, the National Orientation Agency is embarking on a nationwide sensitization program on National Values Charter and the National Anthem, an initiative of the federal government to deeply ingrain ethical, moral and cultural values in Nigerians. The agency in Benin had a media engagement with media personnel to draw maximum support. Uduakobong Achibong was there.
The NOA, under its Director General, Malam Lanri Isa Onilu, has been strategizing and leveraging technology to scale up public awareness with feedback mechanisms in line with the realities of the 21st century. The center of its evolving strategy is the National Values Charter. This is a two-way document captured in the phrases "The Nigerian Promise" and "The Citizens' Code" that will benefit both citizens and government.
Respect for sanctity of life, believe in family as basic unit of society, justice, fairness, and care for environment, amongst others, must not be sacrificed on the altar of unrestrained abduction of foreign values.
The social contract, which has already been passed by the Federal Executive Council, is soon to be launched. But before this is done, NOA is creating the needed public awareness on what it really entails. It is reaching out to the media, which the Director, General Services, Rebecca Nasamo, on behalf of the DG of the agency, describes as the vanguard of national discourse.
The collaboration and cooperation of the press will be the key to our success.
NOA says, as part of its strategy for the National Enlightenment Campaign, it has adopted self-evaluation, staff training, retooling, and other platforms to deliver on its mandates. In Benin, Uduakobong Achibong, NTA News.
That's it from Benin. We'll take a break.
Glad to have you join us in Sokoto. Federal government is deploying more military personnel and hardware to flashpoints in eastern part of Sokoto to combat activities of bandits terrorizing communities in the corridor. Minister of State Defense Bello Muhammad made this known during a tour of the frontline local government areas in Sokoto State. Elata Abdullahi has details.
Communities in eastern axis of Sokoto State have been under incessant attacks by bandits for years that led to the loss of lives and displacement of many families. The tour by the Minister of State Defense is the first of its kind as part of the federal government's renewed efforts to squarely curb criminal activities in the northwest region. The minister and entourage drove through Marnona Isa Road, which was officially closed down by the state government in 2020 due to high rate of banditry attacks. Addressing the Gondomi community, the minister stated that his visit marks the reopening of the road, adding that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has directed for the establishment of a military camp along the Gondomi forest to provide adequate security to communities and road users. At Turba village along East Sabon Birni Road, the minister raises hope of the community that banditry will soon be history. Addressing the troops at Sabon Birni military camp, the minister encouraged them to take the fight to the bandits, assuring them of reinforcement and deployment of logistics to restore peace in the area. Bello Muhammad urged people to support security operatives to actualize their mandate. Sokoto State Deputy Governor Idris Muhammad Gobir, who accompanied the minister, warned people against politicizing issues of security. The minister and entourage had a stopover at Hawandram village, which is now a shadow of itself, as the residents have for long fled for safety.
Our aim is to ensure that every community should come back to their home places so that at least they can continue with their life. So we provide security for them.
The minister drove through Isa Shinkafi Junction, passing through some deserted communities to Goranyo, where Chairman Local Council Zubairu Yari acknowledges the impact of federal and state government's commitment in tackling insecurity.
Every part of this operation, understand, we're keen.
3 additional military units are to be stationed at strategic locations to ensure security of lives and property of the communities. In Sokoto, Dalhatullahi, NTA News.
Federal government is enhancing collaboration with Sokoto State government in developing a template to capture more deserving Nigerians in its social intervention programs. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Community Engagement, Abdullahi Tankoyaka Say, gave the indication while interfacing with Governor Ahmed Aliyu at the Government House, Sokoto. Asma Habibu Shagari reports.
The two-day engagement in Sokoto State by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Community Engagement, Abdullahi Tankoyaka Say, commenced with the overseeing of the groundbreaking of 40 federal government intervention water supply projects performed by the Minister for State Water Resources and Sanitation, Bello Muhammad Gorenyo, at Gorenyo and Sokoto State University. Interacting with Governor Ahmed Aliyu, Yakasai stated that currently the federal government under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has rolled out 11 social intervention programs that most people are unaware of, assuring that 300 students of Sokoto State University will be automatically registered on the conditional cash transfer program through his office.
So long as our teaming youth, our women, our widows, our vulnerable ones, and even the less privileged at the base of the pyramid, we'll make sure we capture them so that they be part of the register.
Governor Ahmed Aliyu noted that the federal government projects in the state have impacted positively on the lives of people and pledges to synergize with the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to bring more interventions to the citizens.
We attach that Mr. President identify with the people of the state for this very important liable projects.
Minister of State Water Resources and Sanitation, Bello Muhammad Gorenyo, who accompanied the Senior Special Assistant to the visit, hinted that more water intervention and developmental projects from the federal government are underway. NTA Sokoto Network Center is selected among public organizations that will benefit from the construction of a solar-powered borehole under the Federal Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation. Already, a team of engineers and contractors handling the NTA water project have visited the station for the signing of the contract expected to commence soon. In Sokoto, Asma Habibu Shagari, NTA News.
That's it from Sokoto. It's now back to Abuja for more on Nationwide.
Thank you very much, Sadia Umar Digi. This is Abuja. Now, Savicam presidency is urging employers of employers of labor to pay attention to staff productivity in order to reward hard work and promote diligence, transparency and accountability in workplaces. The National Coordinator and Chief Executive Officer of Savicam Presidency, Nnenna Akajemili, stated this at an event in her office in Abuja to mark the 2024 Customer Service Week. Kenneth Nanim reports.
The phrase "customer is king" is usually to emphasize the importance of prioritizing customer satisfaction in business and service delivery. But the Customer Service Week is the other way around, and the essence is to celebrate workers who serve with commitment, dedication and creativity in their different workplaces. At the Savicom head office, Abuja, some personnel in different categories of the workforce whose performances were outstanding were also recognized, including a cleaner in the office, Asiata.
I use all my mind to do the work well that I don't look anybody except God.
In line with the theme of this year's celebration, which is above and beyond, the National Coordinator and Chief Executive of Savicom, Nnenna Akajemili, expresses gratitude to workers across board who have been diligent, resourceful and honest in delivering quality services.
We need to stress more around accountability issues. Now, looking at the service charter is the engagement tool that spells out the kind of services stakeholders can receive from government in every ministry, department and agency. And so we're looking at and working and focusing on implementing those set standards.
You can push, but if you don't see people following through, implementing what the NC and the other departments, actually the admin is trying to focus on or trying to drive, it won't work.
As the week offers opportunity to evaluate quality of services being delivered in the public and private sectors with a view to improving on the areas where there are gaps, emphasis is on transparency and accountability. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
On felicitation, President Bola Tinubu congratulates businesswoman Hajia Muinat Bola Shagaya as she celebrates her 65th birthday. The president joins family, friends and business associates in celebrating the founder and CEO of Bolmos Group International, whose business and philanthropic endeavors have touched the lives of many Nigerians. The president commends Hajia Shagaya's contribution to the nation's economic growth, particularly through her diverse business investments in industries such as oil, real estate, banking and communications. The federal government has kept faith with its promises to cushion the effect of the economic hardship faced by vulnerable citizens by distributing bags of rice and other items to the less privileged in Awka, the Anambra State capital. Onome Okadibo reports that the Minister of Women Affairs was there to supervise the distribution of the items.
The Indiche Hall, Umudioka, in Awka, the Anambra State capital, was the venue of the distribution, as beneficiaries gathered and eager to receive the rice and other items. This initiative demonstrates President Bola Tinubu administration's commitment to social welfare and economic empowerment. The Minister of Women Affairs, Uju Kennedy Ohaneye, said federal government recognizes the economic challenges facing citizens as palliatives will mitigate the effects of the current realities.
Man is working day in and day out. I am telling you, whatever I myself is doing, is through him. I am doing it. And imagine how many people I'm fighting for you people to breathe air. It is still Mr. President that is doing it. Exercise patience. Couple of months, the results will start showing. Okay, let's say from 6 months to a year, the results will start showing.
The governor of Anambra State, who was represented, the APC chairman, Anambra State Basil Ejidike, and others, commended the efforts of the federal government.
The president supports palliative so that people will be eating while other reforms and other dividends will come.
Stakeholders said the federal government's food distribution initiative is a beacon of hope for Nigerians most vulnerable.
From Oka, Abel-Ameh, NTA.
And now to sports news.
Nigeria's Super Eagles will engage the Libyan national team on match day 3 of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium Friday evening. The Super Eagles, who lead Group V, will aim to solidify their top spot and extend their unbeaten run, while the Libyans are desperate for their first win in the qualifiers. A victory for the Nigerian side in a doubleheader against Libya will almost ensure a place in the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco. In previous meetings, the Super Eagles have won 4 of the last fixtures, keeping a clean sheet in 3. The match is scheduled for 5 p.m. Nigerian time.
I'm taking preparation very serious. I'm very happy to be here again with the team. I think all of us are very happy to be together again. There's a great spirit in the team.
To table tennis, with 2 days to the ITTF African Championship, the Nigerian Table Tennis Federation has listed 10 players for the African Championship, scheduled for Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, from the 12th to the 19th of October 2024. Top on the list are Africa's #1 player, Auna Quadri, while others are Jide Omotayo, Fatimo Bello, Matthew Kuti, Aisha Rabiu, amongst others. In other news, for good health and industrial bonding, staff of FAN have taken to the football pitch. Director of Security Team, DASS, are champions of the football event of the 10th edition of the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria Fan Sports Inter-Directed Competition. The team came from 2 goals down to defeat Team MD Directorate 4-3 on penalties after the match ended 2-2 in regulation time.
Yeah, talents will be scouted. We have civil service games coming up, and you'll see some of our scouts have been selecting good talents, those who represent the authority.
The competition is aimed at developing talents from the grassroots, aside promoting healthy and harmonious working relationship. With Sports Update, Gifts George, NTA News.
The sports update there concludes nationwide this evening. Thank you for watching. I am Noleen Abel-Ameh. Do enjoy the rest of your evening.
24 hours a day, NTA International is with you. In your living room, office, and everywhere, anywhere. We provide a company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs, and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, Go TV channel.
And to watch NTA International in the USA, Canada, and Mexico, use the following satellite parameters.
You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window.